Cat Audio. This week's episode is highlighting Courtney Lanctot. She is someone that went to the heart of things right away, and I was so stoked about it. She highlights travel. She's encouraging Black folks to adventure the American outdoors through representation, info, and access. She is fun and bright and so rooted. And we didn't really have a plan for this conversation, but we like kind of jumped in head first, and it was really good. And I'm really excited for you guys to hear it.
So with that, I invite you to get into a nice, comfortable seated position. You can soften your gaze or close your eyes. There is no right or wrong way to show up in this moment. Take a deep breath in the nose and let it out with a sigh through the mouth. And I invite you to come as you are and take what you need.
Courtney, thank you so much for being here on Take What You Need, the podcast. I am so excited to have this conversation with you, finally settle into the new year and just hear about your wisdom and your life. How are you feeling today?
I'm so good. In general, I feel so good.
Yeah.
There's been like an essence and a level of like
Mm-hmm.
that I've been feeling the last couple of days. I don't know what it is. I think it's a little bit of like winter
Mm.
and just my body being like, we're just chilling.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're just chilling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Would you say that your energy is more like on a typical, I don't know, chapter of your life? Would you be like more on the go, or would you be a more like settled energy?
So I have very much accepted that I am I'm a very natural human being of like when the sun is setting, my body says it is time to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up with the sunrise and so that's day by day, but it's also very seasonal in nature. And so like in the wintertime, I naturally hibernate.
Mm-hmm.
I naturally am introvert and introspective. And in the summertime, I always say this, I'm two very different people between the summertime and the wintertime. Like
Mm-hmm.
wintertime, I'm a couch potato.
Mm-hmm.
Summertime, I'm a social butterfly and I don't know what home is. I mean, usually, and actually that's usually when I've notoriously been nomadic is
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gone for months of the summertime to just
Gotcha.
explore and expand
Mm-hmm.
and like, yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that makes a lot of sense. I feel like a
Hmm.
lot of people can relate to that, like chasing the sun, being in the sun, and then when it's time, when the sun is,
Hmm.
when it's like colder months, like settling somewhere cozy, rebuilding to take flight once again, kind of
Hmm.
feeling. Have you
Hmm.
always been a traveler?
Well, no. So I grew up in Alaska,
Okay.
where I felt absolutely trapped. Like,
Yeah.
like literally, I requested to go to a boarding school when I was 16. It's an all-black
Hmm.
boarding school in
Hmm.
Mississippi. I requested to go there
Hmm.
because I didn't know any other way of getting out of Alaska. No, 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 no. Long story, no. It wasn't until I got to Denver in my early 20s. I lived in Seattle and then New Mexico as an adult,
Okay.
before Denver. And then once I got to Denver, Denver was so good because it's so centrally located. And I realized at the time, I don't know if it still is, at the time, Frontier was a hub there. And so it was like really
Okay.
easy to like catch cheap ass flights. And
Hmm.
in Denver, you can go East Coast, West Coast, wherever in about 2 hours and you're there. So it
Yeah.
also didn't matter of like, I didn't need a super comfy seat because it was only gonna be 2 hours.
Hmm.
So I kind of started traveling then. But it wasn't until I really fell in love with the outdoors that my body was like, we just have to explore every bit of it,
Mm,
and just go.
yeah.
Yeah.
When did you know you were magic?
Okay, so I've in listening to your podcast, I've thought about how I would answer that. It's so crazy. I always like I remember being a kid and just feeling like I'm a tiger or I'm like a panther. And I remember like walking in my around my room like as if I was like stalking prey.
Yeah.
And I just remember being like, this feels familiar. But then unfortunately, the conditionings of life.
Mm,
I've also always been a very existential person. Like,
mm,
what is the meaning of this? What is the point to life?
mhm,
Like, this fucking sucks.
mhm.
Like, okay, I'm just supposed to be here and have babies. Like, that can't be the point to it. How does that make sense? So people are just here to have babies, and the babies are just here to have babies, and so
Mhm,
conditionings and I'm gonna call it woeism. Woe
mm,
is me. It was just
mhm,
very rampant as a child.
mm,
And it actually wasn't until I was an adult. And I've always been very woo
mhm,
because like obviously there's something
mhm.
that connects us all. Obviously, it's so much deeper than like this flesh, blood, human experience, right?
Yeah.
I think for me, it's accepting, I don't know how long ago it was, but accepting that the magic is in the mundane,
Mm,
that like,
mhm,
we think of magic and we want manifestation, right? We
mm.
think of like I'm magic because I manifested or I created or this equals this.
Yeah.
Um, but like in this human experience, like it's all motherfucking magic. Like it's crazy. It's so crazy.
Mm,
And so like I keep on coming back to it throughout my life.
yeah.
Um, I really, really keep on coming back to it in different ways, but it's interesting because in all the ways I come back to it, it's also like a coming back to myself of being like, oh fuck, I remember this version of me.
Yeah.
I have missed this.
Mm,
Yeah.
mhm, mhm. I feel like even from a young age for you, you had so much wisdom, like so much like that sense of responsibility and that wisdom, like at such a young age to be like, what is all of this for? What does all of this mean? How can all this be? And that's a lot for a tiny brain child, it's a
Oh,
lot.
it
It's a lot
was.
for a little one to try to make sense of it all. And were you always like very curious or because I can definitely understand and relate to like the woe is me feeling or just like why? Like this is hard. Like this is hard. But I often found myself like just accepting that things were just hard and not trying to like change, rock the boat, make any like real sense of it, just being like, oh, this is just what it is. So I'm curious for you if it was like similar or if it was just like, this can't just be all there is. I have to figure it out.
Yeah, I'm very like, oh, make this make sense. Like,
Yeah. Hmm.
which is like, it ended up very much being like too much.
Mm,
Like actually, a few years ago, I literally thought I was losing my mind.
mm,
Not thought, I was, and
hmm,
I was.
hmm,
It was a very clear like, okay, Courtney, like if you want to exist in this world comfortably,
hmm,
there's a certain level of acceptance
mm,
of acceptance as well as there's a saying, not my monkey, not my circus, that
hmm,
really, that released a lot of like, I need to figure it out.
mm,
Now it's just very much of like when things stir in me of like, I need to figure this out, or like, what is that? Or
mm,
like discovery.
hmm,
Um, I feel in my body of like, okay, is this something that one, do I need to actually figure this out?
Mm,
Two, do I need to figure this out right now?
mm,
Is this something that is urgent?
mm-hmm.
Um, and then also like where does this fit in all the things that I'm already working on?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm very much of a have all the things,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and so like I had a friend ask me the other day of like, how do you categorize in your mind of like all the ideas that you come
Yeah.
up with and things that you want to work on? And there's a lot of acceptance. And there's also like,
Mm,
that there's so much reality of like life will show you.
mm-hmm.
Life is short, but it is also very long.
Mm,
I've been really settling into like, what if I what if I allow it to tell me where it
mm,
fits,
mm,
right?
mm-hmm,
Versus like
mm-hmm.
trying to make it fit, trying to like, oh, this goes here, versus like, okay, I'm aware of you, idea, perspective, whatever, and I'm gonna put you on this shelf and in my mind and in my aura, whatever. I'm
Yeah.
gonna put you here and we're gonna walk by you regularly,
Mm-hmm.
figuratively.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe one day it'll make sense of where you fit.
Yeah.
And if not, then you're just a thing that I get to see
Mm,
every once in a while.
mm. I like this idea of kind of like relinquishing control in a sense, because it frees up your mind to be able to do and think about other things instead of that nervous energy of trying to just sort it all in this one moment, right? I do that.
Right.
I do that still. I do that now as an adult. And Maddie and I were literally just, it's so funny that you echoed the like, not my circus, not my monkeys. Maddie and I were literally just talking about that right before we got on this call. And like this idea of like relinquishing control, letting things be what they are and like having to accept that this is what it is, even if you don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Mm-hmm.
hard. That's a hard pill to
Mm-hmm.
swallow, especially as, um, yeah, as me and I find myself being like the savior in most
Mm-hmm.
situations, like born and bred to be the savior in most situations. So, like, even feeling like this like ability to relinquish control or like take my hands off the wheel feels like neglectful or it feels
Mm.
wrong, bad, wrong, whatever. Like yeah, just like it goes against what I'm trained to do. But does it align with my spirit? Like probably not.
Mm-hmm.
If I really sat down with it, probably not. And yet here we are,
Right. Right.
in the
Well, and
thick of it.
it's that conditioning, and it is such a challenge to exist in this world
Yeah.
in the ways that feel authentic and true to us,
Yeah.
and the ways that we want to belong in society and community.
Mm,
And like the conditioning of it, right? But
yeah.
so often in trying to hold on to like the idea of the community and the safety that we know, we don't get the chance to like breathe
Mm,
and look around
mm-hmm.
and actually see the community that actually fits.
Mm, that makes sense.
We're just, yeah, we're just so often like, but this is what I know. Ooh, I was obsessing for a few years of like the devil,
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think there's a lot of, again, that sense of like conditioning, like to be hurried, to be confused, to be
Hmm.
scattered, frantic, and not level-headed, not clear-sighted. Like it's there is like a need to continually like keep the waters unsteady so that you don't get a chance to really look at things
Hmm.
clearly, right? Like
Hmm.
there's a lot of power in confusion. There's a lot of control and
Hmm.
confusion.
Hmm.
So like taking your power back in the sense of like slowing down to really look at everything and let the water settle. And like you said, that I can see like the friction between like how you want to show up in the world and how the world really is, right? And like you trying to find your place in it. And I think we're all like in a sense, different places trying to do that for ourselves, trying to find our
Yeah.
place in it. But yeah, it's interesting to have such big thoughts at such a young age and like still like be like, oh, we're still piecing through that. Like we're still figuring it out. One day at a
Right.
time. One day at a
Right.
time. There's no rush.
Right. There is, there literally, and I just so badly, and I think especially for Black women,
Mm,
I just so badly want us to understand that there really is no rush.
yeah.
I've been in deep contemplation around why am I rushing? Why am
Right.
I on the go? Why am I trying to and
Hmm.
um I came to the conclusion that like there is a false sense of control, as you said, there's a false sense of control. Well, and really it when you rush, there's a level of manipulation to it, right? Because like you're like, oh, tell me about this thing right now, right? And then and whoever you're talking to or whatever is in response, there isn't that time to be like, it's like the whole like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Like, and people are like, oh, I'm great. Are you great?
Hmm.
What is happening in
Hmm.
your life right now, right?
Hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
oftentimes like in dating,
Mm.
it's like, let's hurry up and get there, right? Let's hurry up
Hmm.
and get to the like, oh, we booed up. And in that, it's you miss the point of actually like,
Do I
do I
like
like
you?
you? Like it's the whole like it baffles me and like how like people talk about dating these days of like I'm dating to get married. And I'm like, when you date to get married, you actually don't pay attention if you like them, if they are a good person, if they have integrity and character.
Hmm.
You're trying to get to this idea of a finish line
Mm.
that is fucking made up. None of
Hmm.
this shit is real, right? Like
Hmm.
all of
Hmm.
the societal, like, oh, we're gonna do this, this, and this. Like you get there and realize, like, oh shit, is this actually even what I want? And not that like parts of it aren't, but when you rush, you miss the small cues of your intuition,
Hmm.
of your inner child.
Hmm. Hmm.
You miss the things that your friends might mention in passing.
Mm.
I want us, and this is also where the importance of community comes in, and like true community, right? Like
Mm.
not just like, oh, we hang out, we go to brunch.
Mm.
There's because so many of us are thinking that the finish line is to be married with kids, and on both sides, men, women,
Hmm.
etc., in betweens.
Hmm.
Um, the idea of friendship,
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
the friend unit and the importance of like so often people get in these relationships and forget their friends.
Yeah.
But then if and when the friendship or if and when the relationship ends, or even 5 years into a relationship, you're like, damn, I'm kind of bored of you. I wish I had my own life
Mm.
outside of you,
Hmm.
right? Like friends, the idea of friends as a form of community,
We maintain.
maintain
Yeah.
as
Cultivate
like a
still. Yeah.
yeah, because
Hmm.
there's such a way to like having friendships, having long-standing friendships help with conflict resolution.
Hmm.
It helps with bettering communication, vulnerability and intimacy
Hmm.
outside of romance and
Hmm.
sexual,
Hmm.
you know, moments.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think too, like having that sense, like you were saying, like it's more than just friends you meet up with and go to brunch. Like there are people that hold you accountable. There are people that will
Mm-hmm.
tell you the hard stuff
Mm-hmm.
and challenge these thoughts. Like you said, like we're in a frenzied state. Like I'm just thinking in this like scenario of being in a relationship because I totally can understand and relate to like when you're in love and you're in that love bubble and you're just like this is the only person that's ever existed ever in my life
Right.
and I'm
Right.
obsessed with him or them and I'm just like
Right.
want him forever, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to be like it's like so much fun, right? And you're like, I'm not giving that up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking elsewhere. I'm looking right in front of me, right?
Right, right.
But it is nice. And it does speak to like a true testament of friendship and like that long-standing friendship where someone to be like, hey, like you're still you at the end of the day. And if whether this
Right.
person stays or not, like we're still here. I am still your friend.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the things you need to hear, like even in, moments of
Mm-hmm.
triumph and in tribulation.
Mm-hmm.
It's important. It
Mm-hmm.
is important. And yeah, you're right. I do believe that people don't give platonic friendship enough credit for all
Mm-hmm.
the things that it does, all the things that all of the skills that it teaches us to do, to be in community,
Mm-hmm.
to be a friend, what it really means to be a
Yeah.
friend, or just to be a human in a community, and not even just friends, people, just
Mm-hmm.
people that you don't even are like people you don't care about, like
Right,
just like
right,
people you're not thinking
right,
about. It just shows you how to
right,
be
right.
a functioning member.
Existing, exactly. Existing with each other, amongst each other.
Yes.
It's like more and more community it's just going to become even more important.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when I was researching and talking with folks on, I don't remember when I posted it, but a post about how the Great Migration affected the
Mm-hmm.
way Black folks
Mm-hmm.
interact with the outdoors,
Yes.
right? And um, I was talking to a girlfriend and she was saying, I don't remember who, whether it was her aunt or someone, and they were sharing with her of like how when folks who moved from the South to the North or West, I think her example was a family member was telling her when they all migrated to California or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, there were like four families that were with them. And along the way, they ended up kind of picking up people.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, just imagine what that was like when you
Mm-hmm.
didn't have cell phones, when you didn't have emails, like the level of communication within a community to be like,
Mm-hmm.
what do you need? And this is where I'm going. Can I pick you up along the way? Not just like, hey, we're going for a ride, to literally change your whole life.
Right.
Like,
Right. Yeah.
like to move across the country in because the Great Migration lasted from the
Mm-hmm.
is it 1902 or 1920s to 1970s? For that time frame,
Mm-hmm.
for it was it's the largest migration of people in US history.
Mm-hmm.
6 million Black folks.
Wow.
And it's like and we just don't we don't we are so individualized.
Mm-hmm.
And motherfucker, that's how they get us. That is literally how like they pit
Yeah.
us against
A
us.
hundred
Is
for each
that
other.
like,
Uh-huh.
oh, we're gonna be separate from each other.
Right.
But no, we are communal people. Humans
Right.
are communal.
Right.
But it's Black folks.
Right. We need each other.
We need each other.
We need each other.
Beyond what can you directly do for me?
Mm.
I have a
Mm-hmm.
girlfriend right now she's going through it. She's had a lot of deaths this year and in a really hard kind of really shifting breakup and
Mm.
whatnot.
Yeah.
Um and she's asked me a few times of like she's like I don't get why you're being such a good friend to me. And to me I'm like and I thought about it the other day and I was like is there a level of do I have an ulterior motive? I used to be a bad
Mm.
person. And not like not like bad, but like I like it wasn't unlike old Courtney to have ulterior motives or like just like what's the point in
Yeah,
this?
like what
And
am
so
what am I getting out of this? Like
right, what
what's
do
the
you think that
underlying? Yeah.
you're right,
Yeah.
right, right. Like this has to equal this.
Sure.
So I was asking myself that the other day, and my internal response is like, if I have it, why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Like I went through really shifting period in my, during like my Saturn return
Mm.
and of just being like, I want really good friends. And then so the internal question is, are you a good friend? If
Mm.
you want this,
Mm-hmm.
are you providing it?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
That's real.
yeah,
That's a good
yeah,
checkpoint That's a good checkpoint to say, like, yeah, like, can I provide this? Is it something like, yes, I want this. Can I provide it? One. And then also there's this theme that's kind of popping in my head right now, this idea of it's kind of not necessarily like inconveniencing yourself for someone or just be willing to like go out on a limb for someone else even when it's like a little bit uncomfortable for you, like being selfless enough to be like, hey, like you said, like I have it so I'm going to give it, and like that's fine, there's places for that, but then there's also this like element of friendship that I've come to realize especially like in my 30s, and I am someone that like mates for life. So like my friends have been my friends since like the seventh grade or younger.
Hmm.
Or like I've picked up people throughout my life that have just been known me 10 plus years, 15 plus years. And it still shocks me to this day when someone is willing to go out on a limb for me, even when
Hmm.
I know it like puts them in like a little bit of a bind or it's just like a little bit uncomfortable. It's just like a little bit like it's just not the normal like cream off the top, here you go kind of thing. It's like, no, I'm having to like really, offer this up to you
Hmm.
despite like being a little uncomfortable with myself, but it's because it's for the greater good. It's for you as my community. It's for you as my friend. And a lot of people aren't willing to do that.
And that's the problem.
Right.
And that's the problem. It's like, and a lot of it is also because of how in our world now
Hmm.
we we just have so many conveniences that we
Hmm.
have to pay for.
Right.
So like for me, one of the things that I just love is when people pick me up from the airport.
Yeah.
I could get an Uber,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
But
Right.
pick me up.
Yeah.
I just love it so much.
Yeah.
And so I like to offer friends. I'm like, do you need a ride?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and it's just I it I don't know what to say or do to convince or remind people why it's important to to do selfless acts
Hmm.
for people in your community.
Hmm.
But speaking of New Orleans, right?
Hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
so I've always known of Kwanzaa.
Hmm.
Um, in New Orleans, they like really celebrate it. Like at like community events around the city of like around the principles of Kwanzaa.
Hmm.
And last year was the first year that I participated. And girl, it changed me
Yeah.
because so the main ones were uh cooperative economics
Mm.
and collective work
Hmm.
because oh no, there's another one. Oh gosh, we literally just had it. Anyways, there's
Hmm.
one that just always reminds me of like the responsibility we have to our community.
Yeah.
I think it's just the first one actually, community
Hmm.
and or unity.
Hmm.
And and the idea of responsibility, right? Like I think so
Mm.
many people think of the idea of responsibility as a burden,
Right.
right? Like, oh, I'm responsible for this.
Hmm.
But like to me, what an honor and a privilege to care for something, to be cared for in a way beyond the reality is beyond capitalism and
Yep.
beyond
Yep.
consumerism.
Yep. Yep.
You know, we
Absolutely.
say that we want to get out of this capitalistic patriarchal society,
Hmm.
but then when you do something transactionally,
Right.
that is that.
Exactly.
And so
Yeah.
you have to do things
Yeah.
without a motive or
Right.
without a obvious outcome because you know in your gut that that is I can't even say right, but that it feeds the collective,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
you know.
Yes. Yes, I do. I think people in the like short term think it's like the easier solution, but in the
Hmm.
long term it just does more damage and it just keeps us pushing us further and further from the
Right,
point.
right.
But I hear you.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Hmm. Yeah, like it's yeah, the responsibility to one another
Mhm. Mhm.
is so
And back
it's
to your point about
everything.
the Great Migration, like you said, like it's a bunch of families that don't, it's just people. We're all just people trying to find a better way to get to a better life and hold on to ourselves and our identities. And and that's like putting it at its simplest, like
Right,
most watered down way of putting it down in my
right.
very limited knowledge of it. And yeah, again, like that sense of responsibility for one another and just knowing like we're all heading towards a greater goal. We're all working towards a greater
Hmm.
goal. We're working towards a better life. We're
Hmm.
working towards, whatever this thing is. And in order for us to all get there, we have to look out for one another.
Right, right.
I feel like that theme is going to keep getting echoed throughout
Hmm.
all of time, all of
Hmm.
history until we finally
Hmm.
decide to get it right. Truly, I believe that will
Hmm.
be the theme that will continually show up and that will be the test of time because people will do what's easy. People will do what's convenient. People will do
Hmm.
what's good for themselves
Hmm.
and then be like, oh, well, okay, the clock gets reset. We do it all over again.
Right, right,
Hmm.
right, right. Um, yeah. Mm.
This is
Yeah,
such
I
an
feel that way too.
interesting, this is such an interesting conversation because obviously I want to talk about more about your travel and
Hmm.
your work and your platform and all of these things, but I do have to just take a moment to like really appreciate how we just like went into the guts.
Hmm.
And I like that. And I like that we did that because it's kind of, it just feels like these conversations always like mirror like where I'm at in my life. And maybe it is just like my energy setting the tone, but like it just really like it's scraped against so many themes of my current life that I'm like, wow, like it just the magic of it always and never escapes me. So I just have to take a
Hmm.
moment to acknowledge and I appreciate you for taking that leap with me to go into the guts. I
Oh, girl,
like
I will
that.
always. I'm very much of a let's have the hard conversation.
Yeah,
I very much believe in it.
same.
I mean, again, like I, I think one thing that has taken such a hard hit
Yeah,
in our relationships is not knowing and understanding how to communicate effectively and have conflict resolution,
I
right?
agree.
Like, so I'm such a let's have the hard conversation because in that, Lexi, when you said that shit really hurt my feelings.
Hmm.
And that level of vulnerability,
Hmm.
it provides a bridge to intimacy,
Hmm.
platonic intimacy,
Hmm.
where if you meet me on that bridge, that relationship can only get stronger. And if
Yes.
you don't meet me on that bridge, at least I advocated for myself,
Hmm.
telling myself,
Hmm.
telling my inner self,
Hmm.
Courtney, your feelings are valid.
Hmm.
However, anyone responds to it,
Mm.
you showed up for you,
Yep.
you advocated for you,
Yep.
and therefore your inner self, which is your confidence,
Hmm.
it's your self-esteem,
Hmm.
that continues to support yourself in life, right?
Right.
But when you don't advocate for yourself, when you self-abandon,
Hmm.
that inner self, it weakens.
Yeah.
And that's where so many of us are sitting
Yeah.
these days.
I'm seeing like a foundation with like holes in it. So it's like you never really like solidified that foundation with, or like the workings, the walls, right? It's just so there's always
Hmm.
cracks, there's always holes in it. So it's like even when you're trying to rebuild, and you can fill the holes, but if the self-abandoning and if you keep, neglecting your needs, not speaking your
Hmm.
truth, like those
Hmm.
holes, the things just drain, like they just drain through
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
foundation.
Hmm. Hmm. And you know, the reality is there has to be a point where you say, okay, I'm not doing this anymore.
Right.
But sometimes people don't ever get there,
Totally.
unfortunately. But it really you could fill in the holes at any point, but
Absolutely.
you know, we also very much in conflict avoidance.
Hmm.
We also really want to avoid doing hard things. You know, the hard things necessary to living a good life,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
And living a good life is being in community, right? But
Right.
yeah, I can
Another
ramble
day,
with this.
another day,
Hmm
another day,
Girl,
another,
I can ramble on
yeah,
that
another
one.
day. No, I get it. And I hear that and I see it and I appreciate again just like this the groundedness, the sturdiness, and also like yeah, like a little bit of the discomfort that's showing up because it's
Hmm
necessary. Like I think we well obviously as humans we don't want to be uncomfortable. I sure as hell
Mm-mm.
don't. I'm not above
Mm-mm.
this. Like I haven't mastered these themes in my life.
Right.
I am a human being having a human experience. And of course, like I know my nature is to do the hard thing. Like above all
Mm.
else, I'm gonna do the hard thing even if I'm gonna cuss the whole time, but I'm gonna do the hard thing.
Same.
And
I mean, like, this motherfucking
yeah,
shit
let's
sucks.
fucking fuck this shit, fuck me, fuck that. Literally, fuck, 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 fuck. Legitimately, literally,
But I'm like,
literally,
oh, fine, motherfucker. Yeah.
truly, truly. Thank
Oh,
you. Thank you for seeing me in this because yeah, it's like
yes.
it's shitty and I'm like I don't want to do this, but I know I have to. It's like the
Because how else we gonna get there?
who else is gonna do it? It's
Literally, like,
me. It's
ugh.
me. I'm gonna do it.
Right. I'm my own knight in shining armor, motherfucker. Mm.
Legitimately, I'm like, girl. But like, yeah, I don't see any other way. I don't see cutting corners. I don't see
Mm,
trying to take the path of least resistance. Like, I just
mm,
that's not how I was wired. That's not what my soul wants to do. I have
right.
I just recently moved back to my family home, back to my hometown like 4 days ago. And
Oh,
yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot happening here.
what a new year.
What a girl. And it's not what I imagined, but we're here and we're doing it. This is the hard thing. This is the thing that I am doing
Hmm
because it is the hard thing and I have
hmm
to do it. And it's unavoidable. And I have when I was living in Ojai, I had this couple, this like older couple that I like lovingly referred to as like my Ojai parents. And I had dinner with them back in November and we were talking about like the soul's noble quest. And like
mm,
I was saying like, oh, it's just really hard. And like I wish it felt better, you know, and I wish that I could do the easier thing. And like my Ojai mom was like, but it's your noble quest. Like your soul will
mm,
not allow you. Like she's like,
hmm
it's like so
hmm
like you don't that's not even an option for you. Like of course like you wish it was
Right.
on the table. It's not on the table for you. Like it is your soul's she's like lecturing me at this dinner table like it is your
Right.
soul's noble quest and you have to go forward with it and that's what you have to do. And she's totally right. She was totally right.
Right.
And like I was
Right.
like, ah! Like,
Right.
ah!
Right. Right. Of
And
course.
but like so much appreciation for like the acknowledgement, you know, of like, yeah, I got to do the hard thing, and other people are like, yeah, you got to do the hard thing, and that's hard. Like
Mm-hmm.
oftentimes that's all I need is someone just to acknowledge that it's hard, and then I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
it is hard, and then I just keep going.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
That's it. Very bare minimum. I don't need a
Mm-hmm.
lot. Yeah, I don't need much. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm a words of affirmation girly, so just
Same,
be like, I'm
same,
proud of you. You
same.
are okay.
Yeah,
I
I
can.
can keep going. I can also keep going. Yes, I'm very similar in that way. I see a lot of myself in you. So again,
Mhm.
this like yeah, this like mirrored conversation is
Mhm.
like so right on time, so in alignment. So tell me more about your platform. Was it always education based? Was it just I love to travel? How did that come about?
So hilariously, I didn't realize that people perceived it as travel until years into it.
Uh-huh.
Someone was like, because I was talking to someone, a girlfriend, about it, and she was like,
Girl.
to me, you're not outside, you're travel. And I was like, I am?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
Because for me, I started as outdoors focused, right?
Mhm.
Like just how do I get Black folks outside
Yeah.
to reconnect to nature, right?
Yeah.
Um, so I usually like to say I don't I very much believe in long story long, but for the sake of time, we're gonna long story short it. So I grew up in Alaska,
Hmm.
which is like the most
Hmm.
outdoorsy, majestic place in America, right?
Hmm.
And none of my Black friends did any of the outdoor things. Um, every time I tried to do it with my white friends, there was always a disconnect. And so I
Hmm.
just accepted that, okay, Black folks don't do this.
Hmm.
Um, Fast forward, I'm living in Denver in 2016, and I'm going through a breakup, and I'm crashing on one of my best friend's
Hmm.
couches, and again, benefits of having good friends.
Hmm.
Crashing on one of my best friend's couches, and 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 I say this in full love and nothing but care and respect for us,
Hmm.
but this man is like a nigga from Detroit, right? Like,
Hmm.
or technically from Michigan, but like he's like hood
Hmm.
nigga,
Hmm.
right? But
Hmm.
he be outside,
Hmm.
and I'll be like, every time he would like invite, I'm like, nigga, we don't do that. Like, what do you know? And so he's like, do you want to come camping with us being his family? And
You're
I
like,
was like,
what?
no. Again, you already know I'm gonna say no. Like, we don't do that. And he was like, what are you gonna do? You gonna stay in town and run into your ex? And I was like, oh, all right. Well, when do we leave? Okay, sure. Okay. All right. Um,
I choose
I
the bear. Literally,
was
I
like,
choose the
okay, all
bear.
right.
I,
We're just gonna go outside.
I choose the bear.
Um,
That's so funny.
and motherfucker, it just changed my goddamn life. I was like, this was here the whole time.
Hmm.
And so like but the importance to that story and the reason why I say it in that way
Hmm.
is he was a very close friend who
Hmm.
I still to this day trust with my life.
Hmm.
And he wasn't one of us who I don't relate to.
Hmm.
Like the relatability is very important, right? Like
Hmm.
representation matters,
Absolutely.
but relatability goes just one step beyond that,
I agree.
right?
I could see that.
It's like, right? Because and this actually goes to why I name the Unpopular Black is unfortunately they're again with nothing but love and respect for all
Hmm.
of us.
Hmm.
Um, there have been those of us in the community who, because of their love for the outdoors, they've been placed with and around majority white folks.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so there's a disconnect from the community, right?
Hmm.
Black folks or whatever. And so for me, it was important that it was someone who I relate to, right? Like,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
oh, we be out here doing this fuck shit,
Right.
hood rat shit,
Totally.
but then we'll also we be outside. What?
Absolutely. Right.
That was important, right?
Right.
Um, so when I started the Unpopular Black, and so the name I named it Unpopular as an ode to those of us who've been doing the things
Hmm.
that have unfortunately been outcasted to the
Hmm.
community, right?
Hmm.
Like, oh, now you do that white people shit. Like,
Hmm.
no matter what you do, like you are still us, you are still community, right?
Right. Right.
But then also looking forward to that day when it's no longer unpopular, right?
Right.
But so I, and actually, let me back up. I preface. So I went camping,
Hmm.
and then I started being like, how can I do the things, right?
Hmm.
Like, oh shit, like this is fine. And no one wanted. Well, let me not say no one, but most folks didn't want to join me. I had a couple friends who would be down. They'd be like, Courtney, I don't know what the fuck you about to do, but all right, I'm down. We gonna have a good time
I
regardless.
love those kind of people.
Right, right. And so So I was like, I was really dabbling in all the things like, ooh, what's over here? Ooh, camping. Ooh, paddleboarding. What? Sand dunes? And then there was a point where I went on a road trip with this guy who I was kind of seeing. He had just graduated as a doctor and he was going to residency at Stanford and he was like, "Do you want to road trip with me?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Mhm.
And so I was tasked with finding places to stop along the way to sleep. And we were going through Utah. Oh, we looking ahead, we would be going through Utah. And I couldn't find a place within my budget,
Mhm.
except for this one place that was a glamping spot, but it was before glamping was cool,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
This is 2018. It was
Mhm.
so I sent it to him and he was like, "Nick, we ain't doing that shit. I ain't about to get eaten by no wolves." And it was like it was a light bulb moment of like, where does this narrative come from?
Period.
And that's how the Unpopular Black started. Because so
Mhm.
my work is how do I shift the narrative
Mhm.
beyond the perspectives of what Black people, quote unquote, don't do,
Right,
right?
right.
So my work is to provide the info, the access, and the representation.
Mm.
And the three main factors that the narrative comes from, so you have the historical factors,
Mhm.
so like Jim Crow,
Mhm.
legal segregation, the
Mhm. Mhm.
national
Mhm.
parks were wide only until 1964.
Oh my God.
National parks. Um, so you have the historical factors. You have the access, so things like redlining,
Yep.
where
Yep.
like Black people couldn't live
Mhm.
in these neighborhoods, but these
Mhm.
neighborhoods were often situated in the most beautiful spaces, right? So you would have to go through these areas to
Mhm.
get to nature,
Mhm.
but they would be like, wait, but you're Black. You don't belong
Right.
here.
Right. You're not
I
allowed
see you
here. Yeah.
coming.
Yeah. You're not
Like,
allowed
you
here. Yeah.
can't.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Right, right.
Right.
And then also the representation, right? Like, so often there were in all the sports and all the athletics
Mhm.
and all the things, they were only acknowledging white folks, right? But Black folks
Right.
are doing it along with it.
Mhm.
You know, uh, gosh, I don't ever remember names when I'm on the spot like this. But
Mhm.
like throughout history,
Mhm.
there have always there's always been like a random Black person like competing in these like major things that like they never acknowledged.
Mhm.
Um, and so often nowadays, like you try and go back and you might find the information of a person, but you can never find a picture
Yeah.
or whatever,
I
right?
see.
But
Yeah.
so, anyways, yeah, that is how the Unpopular Black started. And right now, I'm actually working on. I launched the Adventure Directory in
Mhm.
August.
Mhm.
The last couple months have been hard, and so I haven't worked on it that much. But
Mhm.
the Adventure Directory is a guide to the American outdoors from the Black perspective.
Mm.
So it's literally like a directory with listings of Black outdoor focused businesses, organizations, educators, and influencers.
Mhm.
So that way, no matter in America, wherever you are, if you're
Mhm.
like, I'm I'm in Washington, I want to go on a community walk. Is there anyone or any groups that do the things? Let me go look on the directory to see who might be in the area, who might be doing the things,
Yeah.
right?
I love that.
Or like I'm going to DC and I want to be outside.
Mhm.
Are there any organizations that do the things that would be doing them while I'm there?
Mhm.
That kind of shit,
Mhm.
right? Like I
Right.
used to always get people to be like, "Hey, will you have an adventure in such and such anytime soon?" And it was always like huge. It was almost always a no, but I would be
Mhm.
like,
But you
but do you know
can.
about such and such?
Uh-huh.
Well, and I would be like, do you know about such and such organization in
Mhm.
your area? And so often they're like, no, I never heard of it.
Mm. Mhm.
And I'm
Mhm.
like, but they're right there. Like, how do you
Mhm.
not know?
Mhm. Mhm.
So
I
that
get
was
that.
my calling to creating the directory.
That's amazing. I keep hearing this like same phrasing, like dispelling notions, dispelling notions.
Mm.
And I think like ultimately that's what called me so much to you and your mission and to your work is this
Mm-hmm.
idea of like, oh, like, okay, well, they just don't think that we're doing this when the reality is it's
Mm-hmm.
not fucking true. And often we were the first people to be doing it, but like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
another time.
Right.
But yeah, this idea of like dispelling notions, or like you were saying about your story with your friend, you're like, he was like this like hood, like in the hood. Why would you think that this person would be camping? And that's like, but also like as human beings, we're so multifaceted and
Multifaceted.
there's so much richness to the human experience that it's like, yeah, why wouldn't he be camping? You know what I mean? But like,
Right.
but even like
Right.
the rich initial, like the first initial resistance, right? Is like,
Right.
why would you
Well,
be
because
doing
we
that?
don't associate
Right,
that to that, but he
right.
grew up that way. He grew up, he was like, I was always outside, like
Right.
always.
We're
And I'm
dispelling
just
the
like,
notion. We're dispelling the
right,
notion, and we don't
right.
fit in
Because
these
we're
little
not a
boxes.
monolith.
Exactly. We don't need to be fitting in these little boxes. And then also, too, I'm kind of tying it back to when you and I initially had to like first jump off conversation before the recording and everything, and talking about like history and our place in it and keeping these stories alive, having these
Mm-hmm.
conversations, like
Mm-hmm.
remembering these people that came before us, because this is
Mm-hmm.
that is the foundation that we're building upon.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like we also like weaved out this like idea of like representation, but then I'm also thinking about this like this the term of like freedom
Mm-hmm.
and like what it means to truly be free, right?
Mm-hmm.
And free of these assumptions, free of
Mm-hmm.
these notions that make us think that we are just this one thing, that can only be this one thing, and this is where we exist, this is our lane, and this is what we stay in, when the reality is it's so much bigger than that. And it
Yeah.
gives us that sense of freedom.
Yeah. Truly.
Mm.
Truly.
But I just love it. And we'd also talked about like reconnecting to our truest nature
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
getting, yeah, like getting back to self. And like we talked about
Yeah.
earlier, like the confusion and the waters being ruffled because like
Mm-hmm.
it creates control. And like when we connect to our true selves, that's that like mind body connection, that voice that's
Absolutely.
inside us that we can hear it like, oh, this is for me.
Yeah.
This is where I belong. These are
Yeah.
my people. I feel
Mm-hmm.
safe. I feel
Mm-hmm.
connected.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the thing about like once you start getting into nature and however that looks, right? Like some people
Right.
think like, oh, it just means a hike or oh, it just means camping, but it's so many possibilities,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But when you really get into nature and just exist there,
Yeah.
you I want to say realize, but it's also like a remembering that like
Hmm.
the and this is kind of what I was saying earlier, like the natural cycles, right?
Yeah.
Like nature does not rush. Like
Mm.
nature, like everything in nature has its own timing,
Yes.
and like it is us who have gotten off of like the idea of the hamster wheel, like
Right. Right.
that's not realistic.
Right.
Like where are you going?
Right.
And so it's like getting into nature really it reminds you who you are. It reminds
Yeah.
you of your possibilities.
Yeah.
It also tells you that like you can expand beyond your wildest dreams.
Amen.
And to me, that's actually one of the biggest reasons why I feel so called to get Black folks outside. Or, and let me back up. Why I feel so called to encourage and inspire Black folks to get outside
Hmm.
because it expands you beyond any conditionings and limitations.
Mm.
It whether it
Mm.
happens while you're outside or it happens a year after that first experience
Hmm.
of like you don't go into nature and leave unchanged.
Right. Right.
Like it just reminds you that everything is possible. It's
Hmm.
great whenever you have a problem to just go in nature and just let it work itself out.
Yeah.
Because like your mind falls into like a natural um so like in Japan they have like nature therapy. I think it's called like
Hmm.
green therapy, forest therapy.
Hmm.
It's called forest therapy. And it's and because when you're in nature it like it helps to rebalance your electromagnetic internal systems.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so like all the things that like you're stressed about, they'd be like, nah, baby, we're good.
Mm-hmm. Go
We
talk to a
good.
tree about it.
Mm-hmm.
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 Mm-hmm. Where can people find you?
Mm. Um, okay, so for I'm in such like a fertile spot right now.
Mm.
But the Unpopular Black on Instagram, um, the Adventure Directory on Instagram also,
Okay.
theadventuredirectory.com. Make sure you sign up for newsletters. There will be weekly newsletters. We'll be doing giveaways. If you if you want to follow me personally, where I ramble a lot on all of the lifing is Tater Tot Bot. I'm getting ready to actually start a Patreon because I so often have these really beautiful, deep dialogues through my
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, but they're always like, the one where I can't really share of like, hey, community, let's have this dialogue
Yeah.
of like the taboo. I'm personally really big into, again, let's have the hard conversations. Let's talk about the taboo things.
Mm.
Um, but also I very much when my ass be out in nature, I really be naked as fuck all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
just really want to start sharing that because I feel like it's important to encourage also people to exist in their bodies naked.
Yeah.
And if you can do it outside in nature, obviously like where there aren't people or where there's natural hot springs, it's okay to be naked. But it's like it's such a thing of so many of us associate our bodies um in shame or
Mm-hmm.
imperfect
Mm-hmm.
when
Mm-hmm.
it's like your body is your home.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how
Mm-hmm.
often do you touch your skin and be like, wow, this is how I feel?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know if you saw there's a video circulating of the woman she's talking about this Black woman, she's talking about how her mom was a naked mom because of how,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's so
Yeah.
good, right? And I'm
Yeah.
like, I just to a lot of my friends, I'm the naked friend, but I'm
Same.
like, how do I do that more? Because
Mm-hmm.
like for me, again, through my Instagram, I have the conversations around like disassociate the idea of a naked body with sex
Mm-hmm.
and objectifying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like um how do we look at bodies with beauty and appreciation without automatically saying or thinking what that booty do though?
Right. Right.
Like where do we shift back into our whole self,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Not just the human self, but like
Mm-hmm.
me existing in this body in observance of it
Yeah.
and appreciating you and your body in
Mm-hmm.
observance of it.
Mm-hmm.
And just appreciating that like our bodies are just the evidence that we're having this human experience
Mm-hmm.
together.
Right. Right. That is so uplifting and like so like also like it's so uplifting in one sense and then it's also like so natural in another. You know what I mean? It's like right,
So natural.
it's so
Like,
it's there's nothing like reinventing the wheel here. It's all very
no. But isn't it wild that it's like you're like, oh yeah,
yeah.
oh yeah, right? Right? And so it's like I feel called to be a part or like help facilitate of like, let's just come back to our bodies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's come back to our bodies. Let's come
Yeah.
back to our truest selves,
Yeah.
our
So
truest
the
nature.
I'm literally finishing my Patreon for that today, but the link for that will be at Tater Tot Bot
Okay.
Instagram.
We'll have all of those links in the show notes to find the plethora of wellness, knowledge, empowerment and information that Courtney has provided so
Yeah.
heartfeltly for our community. Courtney, wow, wow, wow.
Wow.
Wow, wow. I so deeply needed this conversation. I literally cannot wait to go on a walk after this and just like sit with everything that we've talked about because it's so good. Like I just feel it all like kind of like ping pong balls and like a thing like
Mm-hmm.
like sorting itself
Mm-hmm.
out in my brain right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's always like such a fun and exciting experience to be able to like piece through it after the fact.
Yeah.
But I do want to say thank you for taking your time to
Mm-hmm.
to enlighten us, to share with us, to go there with me today and like get into the guts of
Yeah.
things. And I really appreciate that like fearless and like very like human way that you like show up
Mm-hmm.
because it's fun and it's light and it's still like very rooted and very grounded and real, very real. So thank you for who you are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah, my pleasure. And we're so magic, and I just want us to remember it,
Yeah.
come back home to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
I mean, the first
Yeah.
of many conversations, I feel, the first of many um programs and ideas and things for you, you know what I mean? Like this is just feels really like I know you've been doing it for some time, but it's really just the beginning of so much more.
Hmm.
And that
Hmm.
ripple is felt. I'm seeing like tree vines, like tree,
Yeah.
roots, rooting,
Hmm.
the rooting system being lit up. So
Hmm.
we see you, you are seen, you are loved, you are
Hmm.
valued, and we so appreciate the work that you do for us.
Thank you. I received that. Yes.
Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of Take What You Need the podcast. I hope that you take some time to really digest all the things that we talked about. It was kind of hefty and it is definitely worth like a couple listens, I feel. Grab your journal with this one and just really sit with it. And I also encourage you to go into nature, get naked, and be a better member of community.
Take What You Need the podcast was created by Lexi Bordeaux and Madeline Doss. Original music and production by Madeline Doss. If you'd like to book an in-person or virtual session with me, you can find all of my information for Light and Sable Healing in the show notes. If you enjoyed this episode, please add it to your library, follow the show, leave us a review, and send it to a friend. It's the best way to spread the healing that you just heard. I invite you to join on Patreon. Patrons of Take What You Need enjoy exclusive updates, minisodes, shoutouts on the show, Reiki sessions, and more. Go to the show notes for the link as well as all the links for our socials. This is a Bad Cat Audio podcast.